Coach Coury, you brought this up, your meetings with kids. I think that's phenomenal. Our first staff meeting of every month, and my staff, they roll their eyes when they see me walk in. I bring the roster in, and I start with number one, and I go till 99, and I call every kid's name, and I expect for our staff to say what we know is going on with this kid. What's our plan for developing him in football? What's our plan for developing him academically? What's our plan for developing him as a young man? For us, what's our plan for developing him spiritually? And if we don't have any answers, then by the time we get back next month, we better have some answers.
That's a mess.
And that takes us hours, right? To go from number one to 99. And when I pulled out, they're all like, oh, but we do it every single time and we get fruit out of it every single time.
Yeah. So I know that we all struggle with parent involvement, right? And there's a line where how involved should they be and what are they allowed to be involved in? And one of the reasons for those individual meetings, just kind of being honest, it was a little bit selfish when I first started doing it. I started doing it in 2016, right? And like I said, we're talking about 55 hours in April that I spend with these people. And the selfish motivation was this, right? One, in a big parent meeting, they're not listening to you. They're waiting to ask the question that pertains to their specific kid. And you're just saying, this is what my team is, this is what we're going to do. They're on their phones. They're distracted by other things. No fault of their own. It's just, you put 55 sets of parents in a room and they're thinking about their child. And so I wanted to control the parental environment. And in a sense, what happens in that meeting too is most of the time, one of the questions that I ask, right? So, and I don't want to get too specific on this one thing, but one of the questions that I ask, our third standard is we will give our best to Christ in respect to others. And we talk about self-respect, parental respect, elders respect, and peers respect. And when I go to the parents, there's a scripture that we use that talks about, obey your parents in the Lord for it is right. Well, when we talk about that specific thing, I ask the kid, because I don't let the parents talk until the end when they have questions. But I asked the kid, if I were to ask your mom and dad right now, how are you behaving at home? Are you doing your chores? Do you speak to your mom respectfully? Are you a participant in the household the way that they expect you to be? And the kids, oh, well, coach, right? And you see mom and dad's eyes kind of like, and right. He's not behaving at home. And now you have a partnership with them. And the reason that I bring that up to sort of what we were talking about is in that individual meeting, we have the opportunity to make our standards so clear to the mom and dad that when I do have to get on a kid, right, talking about mental toughness, when I do have to get onto him, I can literally go back to that contract moment and say, are you giving your best in the way that you're respecting, Mrs. So-and-so biology teacher? Well, no, coach, I'm not. Mom and dad, is he giving his best in the situation? Well, no, he's not. And the consequence that comes from that, maybe it's a physical type consequence in terms of running them or whatever, but maybe it's a conversation. The consequence has to fit that individual kid. But we've already set the tone for that in the individual meeting to know exactly where this kid is and where we need to get him to go. And I think the parents buy into it because they've got to have their own personal conversation.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I tell you what, that is a very good one to have that, and it's funny. So I just took over at Pine Creek High School, and it's so coincidental that you say you're having meetings. One of the things I was running to last night, because now every Tuesday and Thursday, I do a 30-minute Zoom with each kid. And in this Zoom, there's only 3 football questions allowed. How tall are you? Now, how tall you think you are? How tall are you? Because how tall are you? Coach, I'm 6'5". Boy, you 5'7". The next question I typically ask them is, what position do you think you want to play and why? And then the last question, because it's what I need to know, is I ask them, what's the plan after high school? What do you want? Because you all know everybody wants to be recruited, but every kid don't want to be recruited. Every kid don't want that. So some kids say, Coach, I want to be a trade. Tell me what I got to get to. Outside of those football questions, the rest of the meeting is just about you. I want to know about you. I want to know about your hobbies. I want to know what video games you do play. Do you play Siege? Do you play Black Ops? Sometimes I catch myself talking about stuff I don't even know about. One kid talked about anime. I don't know nothing about no anime. But you know, when I was on my phone, I'm like, "Oh, you talking about a One Punch Man?" They're
You can
like,
find
"How'd
out
you know
now.
that? How'd you know that, Coach?"
Yep.
Right.
I said, "Don't worry about it. You know, Coach know a little bit of everything." But you know what? I don't. But I also show that vulnerability to them because there's gonna be times I listen. Everywhere I go, I always tell my kid, "You're gonna hate me before you love me." Because then when I have to get this thing right and we have to correct it, we're not friends in it. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your mentor. I'm here to be a leader. I'm here to be a father figure to you because that's what we are in a lot of situations. I'm
Mhm.
here to be that person that you can come to and a trusted adult. That's not always easy. So coming to them and just having that transparency and having those meetings, I do think is a great thing. And coaches, if y'all listen into this, both of these gentlemen just gave me some great ideas that I'm gonna add to my repertoire. Now, once a month, going down the list 1 through 99. Well, first I got to get 1 through 99. I got like 1 to 67 right now.
Well,
But you know
yeah,
what?
sometimes it's 1 through 42.
Listen, I got 1 through 67 right now, but we're gonna keep working and we can get there.